mean, the other options is like Disruptor, but Disruptor is uh, the laning is not that great with the Centaur. Is there Phoenix? I mean, but there's a Nyx, so probably not.
Yeah, we've seen the Phoenix against the Knicks, and it feels like it never lines up too
There's
well.
Winter Wyvern could actually be reasonable because there's a lot of summon from the Chen, right? So maybe you could use the ulti to kill someone easily, and you have the wave clear to defend the towers. I mean, it's a bit annoying against the Nyx, but I think it's still a decent pick.
Would it still be going Orchid first? Because I've seen so many Winter Wyverns in the 4 position just
Yeah,
go to that Orchid first.
you go power trade 60 damage, and yeah, the Orchid Rush. It's a pretty fun build, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried it.
Did you win with it?
No. It was fun, but I didn't win.
At least you had fun. I mean, that's fine.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, I think I got reported, but never mind.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's not go into that.
So, Ursa picked up here, I think, leaning towards a mid-morphling.
Radiant team banned.
And they banned the Rubik, so it can't be there with the Centaur. And Ursa, from what I've been seeing, at least recently, and it's not every time, has been like phase boots Abyssal to start the game.
Alright, so I think the idea right now with this Ursa is Ursa can lane against Timber or Dragonite. So they can actually just switch the lanes anywhere. As long as Ursa goes to the Timber's lane, and the Centaur can actually switch over. Like if it's the Centaur laning against the DK is fine as well. I mean, all their heroes right now can switch all lanes. Morphin can go mid, Morphin can be at the side lane, Ursa can go mid. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, Centaur could also go mid if it's if the Timber is on the side lane, and yeah, maybe that could happen. But their picks are really open, and when you're on the first pick team, and you have this kind of option, it means that the last pick from the enemy, the 22nd pick, it's harder for them to hard counter your lane because you can just change your heroes around because they're all flexible. So they're gonna need a wave clear hero again. There's still Grimstroke, but there's no combo with Grimstroke.
The only thing they would have is like Adaptive Strike, right?
And Double H.
Yeah. It doesn't really seem too strong.
And you only take 1 time self damage when you cast twice. So good for you.
Not putting double the damage, taking half of it. Or well,
value,
taking
man.
one of it.
That is value. And Grimstroke plus Ursa is a very strong lane. Okay.
4 position Invoker? Okay.
At
At least that's what I think.
So.
Unless they're gonna do something like a 4 position Ursa.
So then what are you gonna do in the game? You're just gonna follow the Timber and right click with furry swipes with all of Venom. That's what you're gonna do the whole game.
You just slow with Earthshock, try and enable your team. Do nothing all game. But before I even say it with like conviction, I'm just gonna look up if Jingqiu does play the Invoker. Because I want to be like, I've seen him do it before. But the last time I said that, which was just last game, I was wrong. So I take a double look at Jingqiu's stats. I swear he's done it once or twice with like Serenity back when he was there.
Choose your hero.
Oh wow. Jingqiu's actually his 3rd best hero is Invoker, stats wise. That's impressive. 49 games, 50% win rate. But the last time he did it was 4 months ago.
I'm gonna check my stats.
Oh my, he's actually one of his last 8 with Invoker in the 4 position.
What, you said he had what, 50%?
Yeah, but recently he's been losing. He must have played a lot of it in his early career because what I'm looking at is he played a couple of games of it with when he was playing for the Dream Club A, which was back in 2016. Then he played it in 2017 in some rando match that says unknown v unknown. But then he started playing it Since he's been on EHOME, he's played it 5 times, and he's only won once with it. So recently it hasn't worked. Let's just put it that way.
So what's the idea behind the Invoker in this game? So he wants to... They feel like they need a hero that can provide some kind of initiation, build earn, because you want Vessel against Chen, Dragonite, and Timbersaw. But he doesn't really provide much of a wave there, which they're not sure if I would still say they're lacking, because Centaur and Morphling can really push on the waves. I mean, Ursa to a certain extent with the Ursh. Interesting pick, but I could see the reasoning behind it. And the PR is just going to be like the ultimate strongest hero in the game.
Prepare for
I mean, you can
battle.
outcarry against the Morph. I remember seeing this build on Morphlings when they're playing against PL, they actually go Diffuser. Because you copy him and you have Doppelganger, so you get a Diffuser, so you can actually burn the... Not sure if that's a thing anymore. That was a while back.
I don't know if I've seen, at least how long it's been since I've seen a diffuser on the Morphling.
That's like really long. It's very specific for against PL.
What's
Probably
what's the
than a year
reasoning
ago.
behind that? Just that
Because you
diffuser on the
copy
Morphling.
him and you copy the PR, you become the PR, and then you have Doppelganger and you have
Okay.
Diffuser, so you can actually burn his
Interesting.
or other heroes' mana. So that's the idea behind it.
30
And
seconds
Silar
to
looks like he's
dance.
going to be occupying the off lane on this. And the Ursa, well, they've got the Centaur setting up to go mid, Ursa to set up going safe lane, and Morphling setting up to go off lane. It's all 3 of their cores in lanes that they don't normally play, but not that that matters at times, but it's interesting to see the Centaur mid at least. I think that's the most interesting part of it. And then the PL's mid. I know you told me you're not into cosmetics, but you gotta look at Innocence is Undying. The Chinese region has some of the best cosmetics in the game.
Wait, why does he have a fire on him? What is that?
He's got a glitch tombstone. They take an autograph tombstone and they glitch it with a ethereal gem, and so it makes him look like he's on fire. That's
Thank you for the information.
Have you seen FY's Rubik? It's got like that double vision kind of thing going on.
That's the same thing.
It's the same
Okay.
thing, yeah. It's they used to do it. I think they always approach people when they're like in the troves or whatever, and they try to get an autographed version because it's only you can only use like
Once, right?
certain-
You can do it once. Right?
yeah. So it's the Timber Chain, and this is exactly the situation. It's Timber Chain level 1 here for the Timber Saw. It's something that we were
Okay,
talking about in the
it's
draft.
That's what you do against us. You just run around. You clear the creeps, you do damage to him. Maybe you can even get, like, if you think you can kill him, you could actually skill Whirling Death at level 2 to try and kill it, depending on the situation.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well, that's big actually. Nothing to say loses his salve. Pretty significant right there. He goes into the reactive armor though. Not into the Whirling Death. Do you take Timber Chain level 2 or take the level 2 of Timber Chain at level 3? Or do you go to the Whirling Death and
Possibly.
finish off the 1/1/1?
It's possible that I get the chain. But I actually like 1/1/1 more. Like against like this like Monkey King Ursa, I don't really like to take too many points on the reactive armor because you don't really want him to hit you, and so it's better that you take points in other spells to do damage to him.
Cold Snap comes out into JT. Shouldn't really eat too much damage, and he's getting a bit of regen. Feels quite nice with the reactive armor. And he's got that salve, so... Unfortunately, Ursa, nothing to say. His courier's dead for another 6 seconds. That'll walk over. Hopefully, for him at least, it doesn't get killed again here by Kaka. But Kaka already setting up like he wants to play aggressively and potentially get that courier killed.
I mean, that's the annoying part about the laning phase right now. It's very easy to lose your career with the regen. That's why heroes that have innate regen are being favored a lot right now. It's actually very easy to kill the courier. I mean, you could either do it with placing an observer behind, or you can just anticipate it, right? Because you know he's gonna use the courier to buy tangles and salves, and you're just gonna camp it as a position for.
I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this though, but I feel like the walking courier, the ground courier's pathing is like terrible. I always feel like my courier is walking into danger, but I also should be paying more attention.
I mean, you have to try to micro it without using the you know the auto transfer items where he just runs to you. You have to look at where he's going.
I gotta get on that more because I feel like I lose my courier every time I call it over. And this time, at least, nothing to say. He does get that salve. And now he's got boots, too. So, definitely an opportunity to kill Kaka if he's not too careful. He doesn't have Spike Carapace. He has 1 point to skill, though, and he's holding it. Really held on to that in a point where that could have been potentially fatal. But I think he was really risking it. Cold Snap comes out onto JT. They'll look for the Impale, potentially on Nothing to Say. They landed on both heroes. And then he ends up going into the Mana Burn. Nothing to Say jumping on a Kaka. And back and forth we go. Timber Chain comes in, and now he's got that salve. Jesus. JT goes second point in a reactive armor, but taking a lot of damage once again. Nothing to Say preemptively going to the left, looking for JT on that Timber Chain, and follows him into a kill.
So lane not going so well for the Timber, I guess to be expected. He's laying against Ursa, but looking at his teammates, PL is also losing his lane. Like Centaur is a really strong laner against PL. Like PL can't really do much to him. One lane for Dire, one lane for Radiant, and how about the top lane? Morphing is farming well. Dragonite is also even laning phase, 50-50 everywhere.
And the only down point right now is the Timbersaw dying, but also the Phantom Monster's not doing too poorly. He's certainly behind, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, but Centaur is like really good against PL in the game itself. You know, you could go Radiance at some point to play or go Crimson.
In a bad position. He should end up dead here. One more shot will get the kill. Good stun by Kaka, and they should trade on this. They get one, and they won't get a second. Yeah, very worth to lose the 5 for a technical 3.
PL even gets the last hit.
Oh, JT. I think avoids the tornado. Timber chaining behind Jinkyu. The timing's kind of worked out for him. Jinkyu invokes the Cold Snap, but won't be up in time.
Wow, he actually has an urn without boots.
That's that utility for Invoker. No boots.
He just wants to have urn charges as soon as possible so he can use it with the Cold Snap.
Yeah, it feels like, especially here, where it at least kind of feels like there's a lot of potential for kills. Why not have that earner as early?
Oh. I like what the PR is doing now, man. He's just like cutting the wave because he can't deal with the Centaur head on anymore, so he's just like going behind the wave, doing what like a Bristleback would do if you can't play your lane or Axe for that matter. It's really smart.
Something we normally see like Darkseers do, like you said, Axe.
Yes. PR is actually surprisingly good for that because of the passive. You get a lot of like agility, so you clear the creeps pretty quickly, and he has 3 red bands on top of things.
So he's already sitting here with 66 agi. Nothing to Say, taking a lot of damage there, but now they look over with the Cold Snap. They'll try to do damage onto Kaka. Tornado comes in as well as Innocence moving over. The Soul Rip is there as well as the last shot coming in from Nothing to Say. EMP won't be off in time. Firefly and Ollie have rotated. They need to get a kill off this, and they're already back under their tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They do spot them, though, with this ward.
Dire's top
So
tower
Timber
is under
TP is top
attack.
as a response to that to deal with the Morphling pushing it. But the Dragon Knight is going to still try to do damage. He doesn't want to waste the duration on the ultimate.
Is under attack.
But he needs to be careful though. I think he could die if he does overextend here against the Undying Invoker. don't think they should be able to get the tower. It's probably gonna just take a lot of damage.
Are fortified.
And they've still got the glyph and quick pause coming out from Phantom Lancer. Nobody disconnecting yet though. I still don't know what any of that says. But now they finally get the disconnect from Fly. I wish he kept his name as GGG. Such a recognizable name, and I feel like people forget how good, like, they don't put it together that he was GGG.
I like the new name more.
Fly? Well, there's also Flywin, who used to be Flyby.
It's easier to say compared to ZGG.
Yeah. I could agree with that. Let's see what rank he is now, because he used to be 1 in China, like, all the time. Oh, it actually won't even show me. It's disappointing.
He was one of the best of the new upcomers from China.
Yeah, for sure.
He's really, really talented player.
Because he originally came up with Keen Gaming, and then he moved over to Team Serenity, that TI
they
year.
They went to TI. Yeah, they went to TI.
Yeah.
That was the year. I mean, even that year, he was showing a lot of promising signs as a carry. Like people started to notice him, even though his team wasn't doing that well, but he was like a shining star in the team.
Yeah, I think with Keen Gaming too, when he was playing with like Dark and Wrong and all them, he was playing really well. And he's really shined here for IG. This is probably the best IG squad there's been since the one that went to DAC.
That was like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
It was 2017.
About the RPG that has burning?
Yeah, the Burning OP XSS Bkop Q. Why not?
That was 2017. 2017. Yeah, 2017. So 3 years ago.
Scanning.
Yeah. Oh, GT Yanamana, but won't be able to chase. Did he? Yeah, he morphed into the Timber Saw. The lane it feels like that lane's getting really hard once he can morph into you. Although, at least for now, it's
Radiant's bottom tower.
not the worst thing in the world with such a long cooldown. Level 1, it's pretty manageable. And now JT moves over mid.
This team is so sad. He's like bouncing around the lanes all the time. He can't even sit in the lane
Radiant's bottom tower
to push
is
out
under
and farm.
attack.
I will say though, they're up 1,000 net worth, so they've kind of made it work with the musical lanes.
Dire's top
Yep,
tower
the
is
DK and the PR, they kind of gain a lot out of this because they are not moving. Only the Timber is moving. But at the same time, the Centaur has also gained a lot. He is, as usual, fat as hell at 9 minutes. Every game I say, like at 8-9 minutes, the Centaur has his net worth. Off lane, safe lane, mid lane, whatever lane he's going.
Stampede comes out over bottom. They get the kill and nothing to say. Ollie's the one who gets that one. They've got Emo down here looking for Innocence, but he'll be free to TP out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it's just another Centaur going into the Vanguard. Is it pipe again, you think, for the Centaur? Or should it be going into that, or is it a little bit of a different build, a variation?
Don't need pipe this game. Don't need
Yeah.
Top tower is
I
under
feel like you can go Crimson if you want to. Or the other, I mean I talk about Radiance against PR, but there's a Nyx in the game. It's kind of annoying.
has fallen.
They're bringing Kaka
But I still
bottom.
feel like
This could be a problem. Ooh, Faith Beyond hit by the stun. Good job by Ollie to bring Kaka over. However, Faith Beyond not dead just yet. They'll continue to move forward. They've got themselves the Spirit Lance onto Faith Beyond as well as the Timber Chain. The chase will be long and should probably
Worth the
show
kill.
results.
Worth the kill. He's a big kill. Top net worth.
And they finally get him, and Nemo's the one who grabs
PR
the
gets the
life.
kill again. Great. You see what happened there, man? He crossed this line. He was farming here,
Radiant structures are fortified.
and he dies.
That's the line
And there is
you've
no-
been embedding in my head, and I need to never forget that when I start playing, or for the day today, because it happens every time. Ooh, 5-5 mid. Shadow Amulet ends up saving his life, and now nothing to say might be in trouble. Kaka gets the kill with the Vendetta shot.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
do still end up losing the tower though, but Emo looking on the high ground for Innocence. Chasing Waveform over, Faith Beyond with the stun, and all of a sudden, Emo is still alive. Doppelganger, can he get out? No, he can't. Sylar gets the kill, Tornado comes in on a fly, hit with the double edge, down to about half health. Goes into the Shadow Amulet, but then with the Waveform forward again, Sylar continuing to keep up with this Dragon Knight, now looks over to try and get a kill here on Akaka. Stun hits with the Impale. Faith Beyond and Jinkyu with the Cold Snap should be able to catch up to this Nyx Assassin. Or I say that Nyx Assassin is so speedy with 402 movement speed.
Windlace.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
If you have an empty slot, buy a Windlace. Thank you very much.
And the Tranquils, he's going a mile a minute.
Arcane power.
Do you not like the lines that I am embedding in your head?
I'm gonna gain the MMR, and then I'm gonna be able to confidently accept the friend request that you're gonna send me to see my profile.
This is only like useful in a team game. I'm not sure it will do you any good in a pub. Because they are both very different games, you know. You're not playing the same game in a pub.
Yeah. I need a 5-stack that I can play with.
I mean, it's actually a very simple, like simple mindset to have. By using this as like a guideline, not a mindset. Like knowing where you should be, and whenever you are in no man's. But sometimes when you're playing in the game, right, you're thinking about a lot of other stuff. So having something simple that will keep you in check, it really helps you play better in the game.
You think there's a lot of mantras like that throughout the pro scene? Like, do teams have that kind of mantra where they want to just keep it?
Yeah, there's another line. Some of them play it. After this game,
Tornado
Dragon Knight's dead.
EMP. Fly over top. Very easily did. Good sentry ward placed there just to catch the vision in case he was able to get into the Shadow Blade and get away.
This is the other line how they split the map, which I don't really like so much, because as a carry, you don't get to farm so much in this line because you want to stay here and here, this area to farm. If you're drawing the line like this, because the carry doesn't really want to play here as Radiant on Radiant because it's too dangerous. So the extra space here is going to other heroes, not the carry. If it's like this, the carry is happy. And you always try to extend the line. Never mind, Undying is in trouble. High ground tombstone.
Tornado though comes in, and now they look over Kaka despite Carapace. Locks up Jinkyu for a moment. They've got Firefly entering the fight. Nothing to say, it gets melted there. Firefly really does rip through him quite quickly. Timber Chain over, looking over at Innocence. And, well, with the Whirling Death, they'll get the last blow onto the Undying, and now they'll push the tier 2 tower, and they should be able to get the kill on it. I think Faith Beyond was, for a moment, looking to get the deny, but need to back off that and hopefully not lose your life.
Time to collect those sweet bounty runes.
Sylar going Morbid Mask into a Lincoln.
Lincolns? So defensive. Don't know if I like this. So it's a very expensive build. I mean, Sylar, you know, he goes for the safest build most of the time.
Tornado again with the EMP. JT out of mana, but he's got Arcane Boots, he's got a wand.
Sneaking the Roche.
They're right near here, so if they just get a glimpse in, they still get JT. Great two-man stun from Kaka, and now they'll finally look in the pit. No, they're outside of it. They've got the stun coming in from Faith Beyond. They'll get the kill on a JT. Now they look over at Kaka. They've got themselves the Aegis and 2 kills.
Surprise!
Wow. I don't think he ever got into the pit to see if he was doing it, and then all of a sudden, the sounds come the same time you get stunned, and you realize there's an Ursa in the pit getting ready to come out and claim 2 kills.
I actually much prefer, like, talking back the Morphings items, I actually much prefer, like, something I saw in the previous games, either the E-Blade Rush, or what's the other build where he got a bottle into what, Yasha? I think that build was also decent.
I think that was
This game,
our first
this game I feel like this game, even if he goes Lincoln's, right, I feel like he still needs a BKB. Oh. Like in the fights, there's too many stuns, you know. There's too many annoying shit that he needs to worry about. And then there's the mana burn from PL. So if you buy this Lincolns, it doesn't feel like, oh, you can fight with the Lincolns, you know. It's more like a farming item and like a comfort item. And then after you get the Lincolns, your team is asking you, can you fight now, bro? Then he's saying, no, I think I need a BKB. And that's another 10 minutes of the game. So I don't really feel too good about this Lincolns.
Just seems like a slower build up. And
Slow. way slow.
yeah, and with this, we saw it in the last game too, or even in the last series. Like the slower build-ups seem to cause more of a struggle. With the way the pace of the games are these days, it just feels like when you're doing a slower build-up, like the Midas that was on the OD, it's like that's gonna cause you to have a slower build-up, because now you've spent all that money on Midas, and by that point, it feels like you're already behind, even though you've got something that's supposed to be there to help you recover.
I think that if he really wants to fight, he could go like the Yasha BKB. But JT
Tornado
doesn't have
and-
heals.
And
No
the
heals
Whirling
to
Death.
dispel the urn. Yep, only death awaits.
Sylar just turning into the Timbersaw rips right through him. And like you said, that when he's able to morph into the Timbersaw, he just does so much damage.
Timbersaw's worst enemy, bro. Himself.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he hates Rubik and Morphling.
I love playing Rubik as up against Timbersaw. Especially later in the game.
I mean, do you like how the games are going so far? Like how teams are playing based on the patch?
It definitely
Do
seems
you
like
like it
this
more?
recent patch kind of, at least here in the Chinese region, has pulled a lot of the fighting. I feel in 7.24, even the patch before, it was a lot of fighting. Like we were seeing games
so
ending.
You're like a big fan of the Centaurs, especially the Mars, the Pango. You like? This
I
kind
definitely
of
love the
heroes?
engagements there. Like I would like to see more variety in the offlane. It seems like there's a very limited pool of offlaners right now. It seems like everybody's going for Mars, Centaur, trying to pair it up with like a Rubik or a Phoenix.
Beast.
Yeah, Pango.
I mean,
But-
there's 4 or 5 heroes. I wouldn't say it's like way too limited. I mean, maybe Centaur is like the primary
Radiant's
one.
top tower is under
for now.
attack.
And we've seen some clockworks as well. I guess. You
Yeah,
don't
we
really
saw the
like
clockwork today, but that was the only one I've seen in a long time. Or not in a long time, but it's been in the 4th position too.
Yeah, Fnatic likes the offlane clockwork as well. There are a few teams that do it. Oh, nice try, Invoker. Nice try. They might catch someone with the yields here.
Oh, good sentry by Jinkyu.
Yep. Like, that's why they say predicting. You need to know that there's a Nyx in the game. You're always aware of a possible gank by the Nyx. I mean, it's more about like the heads-up play. You know, sometimes when you're playing against a different hero, like Nyx,
Blink Hook Stomp, EMP coming in, and then he morphs into the Timbersaw. He's got the Euls though. Can he survive? Tornado comes in, lifts him up once again. Whirling Death though, coming back and forth to get the kill on a JT, and now Ollie in trouble as well. Stampede through, but the TP gets on out and he escapes. They use the Stampede for that too. It's
so it's gonna be PL against Moth, like at this rate. Sample has Crimson Guard plus Blink now completed. Maybe he can go. What is he gonna go for? Like Heart?
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, I guess Heart is nice, so you can against the PL and you kill the illusions even faster.
Dire structures are fortified.
I'm surprised the Ursa isn't finishing the Abyssal Blade. I mean, I get the BKB. I do enjoy seeing the Ursa just being able to Urshock Abyssal and lock in on someone.
I
But
understand your
here
point.
comes Kaka. Stun comes out onto the Undying. They've got the damage to take out Innocence. Do they have anything more to follow this up? They look over at Nothing to Say as well as Sylar. Sylar TP's out, but now they've got the Euls out onto the Ursa, so they should be able to get another kill in Rage, but this is just extending the inevitable as they've got the Dragon Tail as well as the Impale to lock him down and get the kill.
I mean, you're basically saying that even if he gets BKB, he can't kill anyone, right? So what's the point of getting the BKB? It's a bit similar to certain heroes going for the kill item first before you get a BKB. Like you go for a damage item before you go BKB.
I think the build can also really help the team right now. Finish the Abyssal Blade, but maybe I would say maybe he's not confident in finishing the item in time, but it's just the same amount of gold as the BKB.
The reason they don't have enough like hard lockdown within their lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going E-Blade now after Lincoln's here. Oh my god. I mean, I just feel like he's not going to do so much in the team fights. Even with, like, say he gets the E-Blade, that's going to be another, what, 1.5k gold.
Flip Stomp comes out onto the Nyx Assassin, Hand of God, but Kaka won't survive. Tornado also hit on the Ollie. Jingqiu pressuring, throws down the Meteor, but it's far away from Ollie. He's safe. The entire time, though, Phantomites are continuing to just farm, and he is going to go into that heart next, like you predicted.
I was actually talking about Centaur getting hard.
Yeah, anyway. Well, you know. It counts.
Wow. Okay, thanks. So when I say someone else is buying meals from me, actually, you know, counts even for the other heroes.
It counts double as well.
Yeah, but I think overall I also like the way the game is going at the moment. Maybe a little bit too much lane centric, but apart from that, like the constant brawling and the fighting, and having a carry hero is definitely very pleasant to watch and to play as well.
It feels like the laning stage is very important right now. Do you find that to be a lot more stressful? Like, or games seem to be won in the laning phase?
I mean, I like the fact there's certain importance on the lane, but like if everything becomes about the laning phase, then it's gonna limit a lot of the hero that you can select in the, because you need to only pick heroes that are good in the lane, and that's gonna change the face of it, which I don't really like if that happens. Like, I think everybody likes variety, you know, then you can pick a lot of different heroes.
I like seeing the variety throughout the games. It's a lot of repetitive heroes right now. Ooh, Bkop Stomp comes out on the 2. They've got themselves the waveform as well. Sylar turning into the Timbersaw. They look over at Kaka. The Timber Chain away from JT. Yules out onto the Nyx Assassin. Kaka won't survive. Innocence gets the kill there. Sylar continuing to chase onto JT. Gets his Lincoln's pop. Waveform onto the high ground. And now he looks over at Ollie. He's got the Timber Chain as well as the Whirling Death. But the Ghost, or the E-Blade, is enough to get the kill there on Ollie. However, Sylar just in too deep. Emo shows up to the fight. Looks over at Faith Beyond. Just about out of mana. Good tornado by Jingqiu as well as the deafening blast keeps him back and disarmed. But now they're finally no longer disarmed. They look over at Faith Beyond again. They've got themselves the kill to the Centaur. Now the Yule's out on the Undying. Make it a third here for IG and a double for JT.
How did the Morphling actually just die? Like, what, did he get stunned? I didn't get to see like, the Dragon Knight stun.
He jumped in and then
because the
Nyx
was dead, so the only stun available was the dragon. So one stun and he died. I mean, this is also the reason why I feel like even with Lincoln's, he doesn't really feel like he can fight very well. He needs to be dead. So his build is gonna take a long time.
He's far away from that BKB. Jingqiu. I think he missed the impale, but they should be able to still get this kill. They've got the Dragon Tail, Breathe Fire, and the Dust. Clumsy Net is down, and you can't run away from the Phantom Rush, even with the Ice Wall down.
That kind of really sucks for the Morphling right now. He's going to have to farm and farm and farm.
Dire's top tower.
Whereas the PL is like so much more willing to fight, because he can fight way better than him. And I'm not sure if the Radiant team can actually buy that time for the Morphling to buy BKB before they lose any more objectives.
Fi about to finish his BKB. And you've got the Heart just about finished on the Phantom Lancer. A couple of big items coming in for the side of IG that could really put them on a spike. Seems like Faith Beyond's been landing a lot of those, 2-3 man stuns, but
Yeah, but the Morphling cannot hit
Yeah.
anyone. So
Yeah.
same goes for the Ursa. Ursa is not BKB as well. They can't output the damage. Like the only damage right now is the reliable damage is the E-Blade plus Adaptive Strike combo. That's pretty much it. But it's not enough to kill anyone because Chen has the mech and the Hand of God.
Are scanning.
yeah, we saw when he jumped on Ollie, even that wasn't enough to get the kill right away. Emo onto the high ground, they'll throw JT forward. A lot of these heroes here for the side of EHOME that need to try and run. They've got the Fusel Weight on, Nothing to Say coming across with the Timber Chain as well as the Whirling Death is JT, but locked up for a moment by the Ursa. He ends up getting disarmed. Emo continuing to move on forward. The rest of IG will start to disengage. Don't want to dive in too far. Innocence over to the side. And now the Blink as well as the Hoof Stomp comes out on 2. Sylar turns into the Timber Saw, Timber Chains as well as the Whirling Death out onto the IG heroes. Use that Manta after the E-Blade hits. JT now hit with a Cold Snap trying to run away with the Timber Chain, but they've got him with the Spirit Vessel as well as the damage from Sylar. Emo now locked up, but Fly gets kill on Nothing to Say. It's a 2-for-1 with a buyback from the Ursa, and they want to go in on a Fly. Timber Chain comes forward. Emo now maybe looking to turn this. The BKB's going to be popped by Fly. A lot of damage being done to the Ursa, who just fought back. Nothing to Say now on the run. Faith Beyond also low. They've got Sylar turning into the Phantom Lancer as he's going to doppelganger to try and make some illusions here to help out the rest of the team, but they get the kill on the Nothing to Say. He's gone for 75 seconds. Dominating streak for Emo, and potentially more in some towers going down.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I'm surprised Nothing to Say committed it like that and bought back.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Another
There
fight that
goes
kind of fell
his
flat.
BKB. No more BKB for you, my friend. I mean, they have some really big problems of lacking damage. They don't have enough damage at all. I mean, they can kill 1 or 2 heroes initially, but they won't have enough to do more damage.
Take a look, see Roche is up. IG should start heading that way. Also, Sylar with Faith Beyond coming over. The Sunstrike hits on JT, doing a lot of damage, but the Timber Chain as well as the Whirling Death out. Innocence and Faith Beyond take a lot of hurt there. They've got the Impale out on Sylar as well as the Chakram down on him. The Stampede to try and get him out of this one, but he gets killed by Fly. EMP's not enough, and this is a big problem here for EHOME, losing that Morphling.
If they can force his buyback, that would be huge. They're going for the Roche. This is like a really tough situation. They can't really give the Roche, but they don't really want to buy back and then morph to contest the Roche. So I think they're gonna just have to give it up. This is a very rough spot right now for Radiant.
Are fortified. Dire are scanning.
DH is out on Emo. Now having 2 lives to work with as well as that cheese. And Emo has felt almost unkillable to this point. He's only died once. I'm going to take this last outer tower away from the hands of EHOME. They didn't get the buyback out of the Morphling either, which I think is okay for EHOME, but they're going to need to defend the high ground against 2 lives on this Phantom Lancer, and it's going to be really tough with mid lane also pushing in thanks to JT. See if EHOME can defend. Or They're even going to try to defend the tier 3, how much they're willing to give up before they finally make the initiation in. Faith Beyond Blink as well as the Hoof Stomp. Meteor comes down with the Deafening Blast out onto the Timber Saw. Taking the tier 3 tower, they look over the set of racks. Spirit Vessel through onto the Phantom Lancer as well as the E-Blade hitting onto JT, but this is just not enough damage to really deter the side of IG. Blink, Hoof Stomp hits on 3. Good job by Faith Beyond. Can they follow it up with anything, though? Again, it just doesn't seem like the poke and prod is enough.
Radiant's top barracks.
Now they're going to move over to mid.
Under attack.
And there's
This is a big
nothing that they can do without BKB. It's like so difficult. Sure, the Centaur can get like a 2 or 3 man storm, but nobody is dying.
And they got the stun, but now Faith Beyond in a lot of trouble. He's out of mana. They look over as Nothing to Say has already used that Enrage. They'll find Faith Beyond retreating. Emo hit with the disarm, but they've got Sylar by himself. And as much as he's going to turn to the Timber Saw to try and survive, he'll end up dead. He's got buyback, and he might be forced to use it, and he's probably going to be forced to use it in what looks to be the potential last defense here for EHOME. Hoof Stomp hits onto JT. They've got him locked down. The bash is there from Nothing to Say, but the 2-man Impale hits onto the Centaur as well as the Ursa. I think it went all the way back to Jinkyu as well. They've got the buyback coming in from Morphling. Now the Tornado is through. But can they get any kills on these IG heroes? Or onto these IG heroes? Faith Beyond out of mana. Not really much he could play with here. Doesn't even have enough for a Hoof Stomp. He's got 19 wand charges if they want to make that initiation. So Blink, Hoof Stomp once again. Looks over at the Nyx Assassin, the kill on the Kaka, but Emo is going to continue to move forward. Looks over at Faith Beyond. Now Faith Beyond without mana once again. JT up in the air thanks to the Yules. They'll buy back on the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin now TP into the tier 2 tower, so it's going to be a while till he gets here. Sylar gets the kill on Ollie, but now he needs to run. He's disarmed and in trouble. He's isolated from the rest of his team. Doppelgangers once again. Sylar, Kaka coming over. There's the break with the Vendetta as well as the Impale that gets the kill. He's gone for 110 seconds. And this is the beginning of the end for EHOME. They no longer have this Morphling. Hoof Stomp comes down on both the Phantom Lancer as well as the Dragon Knight, but it's this continuing story of just Faith Beyond getting these stuns and nothing really much to follow it up. Impale hits onto Faith Beyond. He's been stun locked. They'll look over at Innocence. They'll get the kill, buyback immediately. Faith Beyond's able to survive. The rest of the team forced back, but finally they will take down the Centaur and he'll buy back as well. And instead of continuing to fight this one out, they'll just call GG. IG will take the 2-0 series, and EHOME fall in 2 consecutive games.
No BKB, no win.
And that buyback really cost Nothing to Say because he was so much further from the BKB there.
Both games you could see there are issues with like the item selection. Remember the first game was the OD going with Midas Hurricane Pike, then having very, very bad timing on the. Did he even get BKB? Managed to get BKB? I don't remember.
I don't
but
believe so. I think he
lost
went
it.
another item before he even went
This
to the
game is
BKB.
the same thing. The Morphling bought too many items, like useless. Like I mean, maybe not useless, but items that are so expensive that doesn't allow him to fight. You know, like he had what at some point 14, 13k level, same as the PR, but the PR is doing so much more in the fights. The Morphling he's just like trying to morph into the Timber and trying to cast some chain and rolling death. But apart from that, he can't really sit and man fight anyone because he doesn't have BKB. And he has Lincolns and eBay. Those 2 items are so expensive and it doesn't allow him to fight. That's why I don't really like the build.
Yeah, it needs to really. It's just the itemization, and it was both those heroes. Nothing to Say as well as Sour definitely had their opportunities to finish off a BKB. And I think made decisions that ended up slowing that pace down. And I think with those BKBs, the game changes a little bit. IG seemed unkillable, but that was also because those BKBs didn't exist. Like, I think EHOME picks up those items, and maybe this game goes a little bit differently, because it wasn't like it was so out of reach until about the 30-minute mark.
Very, very small details that changed the game, because up until that point, the game was actually pretty much anyone's game. You know, Santa was so fat, like he just needed the Ursa or the Morph to be able to fight with him. He's tanking the damage, he's like doing a lot of damage mitigation with the Crimson Guard, but no one is killing the enemy team because nobody can do anything in the fights, dish out damage.
Yeah, so without those BKBs, they end up falling, and the series gets taken by IG 2-0. And it just,
Buy your BKBs.
yeah, just
Don't be greedy.
yeah, it's being greedy for that extra item before BKB, and with the, I think it goes back to even like just the pace of the game. Sometimes you just don't have enough time to get that item in between whatever you got before and a BKB, and it causes you to lose a game like we see here, or even with the OD in the previous game. So just get your
Hey,
BKBs, like you said.
you heard about the thing that Emmy said before in the interview? Getting BKBs too early is actually game losing. So the pro players, they sometimes try to juggle this perfectly, but they make a lot of mistakes in certain games where they misread the situation. Sometimes you say that why does the pro player not understand that they need a BKB? Like
Hmm.
a lot of the pro players, they try to delay it as much as possible to get it at the best timing. But sometimes by doing that, trying to do that, you actually make a blunder in the game when you misread the actual severeness of how badly you need the BKB to fight. And going back to the point where everyone feels like the game is going so quickly right now, so you must be able to farm and fight at the same time. If you cannot do that, your team is going to lose a lot of ground on the map.
Didn't Kyle say that like 2 or 3 TIs ago? He said the earlier you buy BKB, the worse it is. He said that as well, I thought.
Yeah, it is true. There is some truth about if you buy a BKB too early, it's game losing. It is a fact. But right now, the game is not the same compared to what 2 3 years ago. Everything is like there's so many things that change. So a lot of situations where you can have like maybe 10k net worth, but without the right items, your 10k net worth is not the same with like say like a Dragon Knight with 10k net worth, BKB Shadow Blade. He fights way better than you, and he's gonna take your tower. And if you cannot fight, it means that your base is gonna go down. So you have to be able to fight. If you need to get a BKB, you need to get a BKB. You cannot delay it too much.
Yeah, so it's about finding the right proper time to pick up that BKB, which a lot of a lot of what I've seen has been like one big item into BKB, and then fighting immediately and trying to roll from there. But I mean, it worked out here with Fly getting that BKB after the Shadow Blade, or actually he went Shadow Blade, Heaven's Halberd, then BKB. But those are two items that aren't too costly, that are going to really slow it down. Whereas you're going Lincoln's, which is a 5,000 gold item, and then you go E-Blade, and then you're trying to get BKB. So it's the difference in a 9,500 gold being spent and 6,200 gold. It feels like a big split in between what Sylar is trying to do before getting BKB and what Fly was trying to do before getting BKB.
Yeah, it's a very old style of playing morphing though. I don't really like he's a very stable player, like too safe of a player. Sometimes when you are carry, you have to take control of the situation. I'm gonna do this. It's a bit risky, but I want you guys to go fight with me. You have to do something drastic to win the game. He's more like a carry player where when your team is ahead, he's going to make sure that he wins the game for you. But if the game is 50-50 or losing, he's not very good at that kind of scenario. I think what makes a great carry is when even when your team is behind, the going is really tough. You are able to find a way to drag the game back towards your team's favor.
Yeah, so EHOME, they'll have to try and go back to the drawing board on that one. But IG take a good series 2-0. And tomorrow we'll be back with EHOME again. They go up against Newbie, and then the second series is Ocean against Sparking Arrow Gaming. So we'll be back with
Your
that
favorite team? Your
tomorrow.
favorite team,
SAG,
Sparkling Arrow Gaming.
the top team in China right now, taking down the big dogs. So we'll see if they could do it again, if they could keep the streak alive. So we'll be back with that tomorrow. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you are in the world, and wash your hands. Stay safe.